Well, I have 10 years of experience in law enforcement, and my husband has
almost 28 years.
28 years almost. It was actually my friend's birthday that weekend, so we made arrangements. We flew in on that Friday morning, but we came here for the concert.
Just like everybody else, after Jason Aldean came on and started playing, you know, we heard the crackles in the background.
We thought it was fireworks at first.
And then all of a sudden, it was just a massive wave of gunfire. That's about the time that she got hit.
It felt like I got stung by a bee or something at first.
We're trained to go in and help people and to put our lives before others. You know, you just feel helpless, you feel unprepared, because when we gear up to go to work, we have the tools that we need to go do the job. And that night, we had nothing.
His focus turned to me to get me out of there.
I said, can you move? Can you run? And as soon as there was a break in the fire, we grabbed each other and we started running as fast as she could go.
The pain got more intense. And once we made it out of the venue, I couldn't walk anymore.
I scooped her up, put her in my arms, and I started carrying her. And then we found another spot where there was a little bit of cover, and so I reached into her shorts on her left side, and immediately I came out, my hand was full of blood. And then I took my belt and I wrapped it around her waist and got it as tight as possible to act as a tourniquet. It just so happened some guy was getting ready to get into his truck. We loaded up 2 other victims and herself, and then there was an ambulance coming down, and one of the guys yelled at me and like, "Sarge, what do you think?" I'm like, "Wherever that ambulance goes, that's where we're going." We followed in nice and tight and made our way here to Sunrise.
Somebody came out, looked at me, and said, "You need to get into surgery now."
All they tagged her as was Trauma Lori when she came in. And so, not knowing what was going on with her, I went into a little bit of a tailspin, I'm not gonna lie. You know, and then at some point I was able to get a hold of my boys. They were here by 4 o'clock that morning, and I think sometime around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, one of the nurses came back out. So we think we found your wife, come with us. And Lori spent 2 weeks at Sunrise Hospital. We felt it important to come back and say thank you to the nurses, thank you to the doctors, thank you for the hospital, for all their support, everything that was done here. We also wanted to say thank you to the middle school that was here. We wanted to say thank you to them for the cards. There were times where I would take words that I read off of those cards and I whispered them into Lori's ear while she was in the ICU, fighting for her life. Even visiting the nurses here today, they did a phenomenal job helping my wife survive.
It was nice to put a face to some of these nurses that actually were in the operating room with me. Just grateful for everything they did for me.
You know, we don't see the best of society sometimes with what we do. When the positive sides come out, it is so reassuring to see that humanity can grasp onto that and respond like they did here in Vegas.
The love just came out in this city.
Vegas will always hold a special part in our hearts.
I think it brought us closer together.
Well, she's not getting rid of me anytime soon, so that's a good thing.
It's been good, very good.